Being the only Kryptonian on Earth, Superman was always lonely. Despite having a wife and a child, this feeling of loneliness was not subsiding. He wanted something or maybe someone in his life. Batman and Superman have been working together for quite some time now. Superman was obliged to remain in the cave and conduct his work from there. He tried everything he could to persuade Batman to let him out, but he refused. Batman, on the other hand, was on a critical mission. A mysterious object had fallen into the ocean, and he was supposed to look for it. He was pretty sure that it was not a mere meteor. He was constantly telling Superman to stay away from his comlink and focus on his work. He even brought his dog into this conversation, and this annoyed Superman. As they were conversing, Batman reached the spot where the mysterious object had crashed. He discovered some green and red kryptonite near the crash point. However, what he saw next really shocked him. It was an empty spacecraft. The condition of the hull, the ocean floor, and the absence of any parasitic activity points all led to one conclusion, that this spacecraft hadn't been underwater for more than a week. Or maybe someone was trying to mislead him by making things look that way. In the midst of all this, a mysterious girl appeared from the water and discovered Batman's boat. Apparently, she knew how to operate it and took off with it. As soon as Batman got the signal, he launched a hook from his suit and started following it. The girl had somehow managed to cross the ocean and make it to the city, where the boat crashed into the dock. Batman also considered this a diversion and swore to capture the culprit behind it. After carefully observing the crashed spacecraft, Batman realized that the craft is from Krypton, as there were Kryptonian scriptures embedded on it. He had learned some Kryptonian from Superman, but it was not enough to translate everything. Meanwhile, the girl had managed to make it out of the crash safely and approached some civilians. She was conversing in a weird language, which made the civilians assume that she was Swedish. One of them tried approaching her, but she broke his fingers and punched another guy right across the room as he tried to stop her. There was one guy left, and he offered her a coat to cover herself up, as she was naked. As she left, Batman appeared on the spot and asked them some questions regarding the girl. The utterly confused Kryptonian girl, on the other hand, was roaming around the streets. Some cars crashed into her, and she even blew up a traffic signal using her heat vision. The police tried stopping her, but she absolutely obliterated their cars. Even the bullets had no effect on her. With all this going on, Batman somehow managed to catch up to her and confronted her. Scared, the girl started flying and crashed into a plane. As the plane was losing altitude, Batman had no other choice but to call Superman for help, and he arrived immediately. For some people, Superman was just a selfless Boy Scout with extraordinary abilities. They were unable to see what he truly was, a hero. Meanwhile, the Kryptonian girl had run away and was crying. After tracking her down once again, Batman had no other option but to use kryptonite to capture her. In his lab, he conducted some tests on her and made it absolutely clear that she is not human by any means. Following some more tests, he also deduced her origin planet. After the effects of kryptonite wore off, she woke up and broke the equipment she was trapped in. For Batman alone, it was impossible to stop her, but this time around, he had brought someone else alongside him. As the girl tried to flee, Superman caught her by the leg and started saying something in the Kryptonian language. During their conversation, the girl started crying, and this made Batman anxious. Unable to comprehend what they were saying, Batman asked Superman, who told him that the girl is named Kara Zor-El, and she is his cousin from Krypton. With this, Superman was not alone, as he had someone from his planet alongside him. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.